Yo, what it do? It's your boy Brock, and this is my new segment called Trench Tactics. It's a deep dive on D line play, my opinion on how the game should be played, and if it was played the right way. So, y'all stay tuned, check in. Peace.
What it do? It's your boy Brock, and this is Trench Tactics, where we talk about everything and anything D-line play. Today I'm joined with my co-host with the most, Mr. Petty Pat Outdoor.
Yo, what's good, everybody? This your boy Petty Pat in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, hey, we got to talk about, the big moves, in NFL free agency. We call this the free agency March Madness, dog. Definitely got to highlight, and first and foremost, got to highlight all big dogs up front, interior D linemen. So, first and foremost, man, we shout out to my dog, Mr. Milton Williams, man. He signed a deal today. 4 year, $104 million with the Patriots. It was crazy about that deal because he was signed with the Panthers first, and then something happened, and then the Patriots swooped up and got him. So, hey, really ecstatic that my dog got paid. He balled out in the Super Bowl. He much deserved. So, I'm proud to see my dog getting paid. Next, my OG, not my OG, but I feel like an OG in the game. Jonathan Allen, who has been holding it down for the Commanders last some all years, I don't know, 8, 9. And he just signed a new deal with the Vikings, 3 year, $60 million deal. So it's good to see one of the OGs who has been consistent in the game get paid. A dog like that, this is fitting the Vikings. I think, he's gonna feel, very well there. He gonna feel a lot of shoes
Bro,
there.
I was gonna say it seemed like he been playing for forever, bruh.
Bruh, don't like. I mean, I know it's got to be like year 10, 11 or something. It's good
Bro,
to
it feel like he been playing the NFL for 12, 13 years, bruh. And you know how I always remember him because he always had that fucking face mask with the bar, the old school face mask with the bar down the middle.
and breathe with the bar going straight down that old school shit. But next on the list we got my dog. I want to say my dog because anybody play in the D line is my dog. You already know how it is. But my dog, Tershawn Warden, from the Chiefs, he just signed a 3 year, $54 million deal with the Panthers. So I see, excuse me, I see the Panthers trying to get, trying to fill the DT position. So they finally were able to do it with Tershawn Warden, 3 year, $50 million deal with the Panthers. So they got them another dog. He was active. He was definitely, he definitely shined on the other side of, man, what's my dog name?
Chris,
Trey.
Chris,
I can't believe
Chris Jones.
yeah, Chris Jones, bro. I can't believe I forgot that, dog. Charging my mind, not my heart on the D line, name, dog. But yeah, he was definitely shining on the other side of Chris Jones all year. Last year, definitely heard his name a lot. Now we're gonna move to another OG who's been very consistent over his NFL tenure. Let's be real. Grady Jarrett just signed a 3 year, 40 what's this, $43 million deal, 43.5 with the Bears. There's nothing bad I can say about Grady Jarrett. He's been definitely holding it down, uh, you know, for the D line, interior 3 tech, for a little minute. Yeah, I don't know what year this is from. I think this got to be year 9 or 10. He's been playing for a minute. So, and if I'm got his years messed up, I apologize. But definitely been holding it down for the D line for some years. So seeing Grady Jarrett get paid, that would, they're definitely excited for that. Next on the list we got what
I was gonna ask, like, what are your thoughts on like seeing these guys who've been playing for 7, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, finally getting it, getting a nice little payday.
Man, it's good to see guys who have been consistent in the league really get more paydays because like these guys that I've been talking about, Grady Jarrett, Jonathan Allen, these aren't they're going on that third deal. They're going on their fourth deals. So for me, seeing guys who've been consistent still get paid based off their work they put in the league, it definitely, I'm ecstatic for him because to see, the OGs still holding it down, get paid. I'm always good to see my dogs get paid. It's good to say that we don't get no love for real inside if you ain't putting up AD numbers. So to see, people that's been consistent in this league for a long time get paid, that's definitely a good sport.
Yeah, I got you.
Next on the next on the list, we got Javon Kinlaw. I don't know what year this is. I feel like this got to be year 6, 7 for him. I know he played for the Panthers. I think he was just playing for the Commanders previously. He just got paid a 3-year, $45 million deal with the Commanders. And for him, man, I just love to see his physicality, man, up front. He always gonna be one of them big dogs. So, what they used to say, you ever want a player to be the first one off the bus, you want this guy to be the first one off the bus. And
Yeah,
Kinlaw is
yeah.
one of them guys. So he's definitely a physical specimen. Next on the list, man, we have another guy who's been very consistent, on the D line, for the Bengals and interior wise is BJ Hill. BJ Hill just re-signed with the Bengals, like 3-year, $33 million deal with the Bengals. And I think it's a good sign, man. Anytime you're able to get a D lineman that's been, like I say, been consistent for multiple amount of years in the league, is, staying healthy, being able to play, man, you having that's a good investment. So to see a lot of interior guys get re-signed shows where a lot of needs to be signed at is it definitely interior wise. Um, I guess for me, my honorable mentions for just the D line in general is I showcased and highlighted a couple of DNs that I felt like just broke the bank again. First and foremost, defensive end Miles Garrett, 4-year, $160 million deal to re-sign with the Browns. Obviously, see what's
And
important to them.
you know what's crazy with that, bro? When he signed that contract, a meme went kind of like all over the internet. It was saying because Miles Garrett saying he didn't want to resign, and it said that Miles Garrett, I won't even resign for 159 million if they tried to give it to me. And then he signed for 160. So everybody was kind of like, well, there it is. Money talk.
Yeah, money talk. Hey, you give me that extra million, bruh. Everybody got a price at some point. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't be bought. Then they tell you, hey,
Like Corey, the crazy number.
hey,
Them numbers start going, they start adding zeros. Hell, bro. I'm glad for him, bro. Even though I think he was ready to chase a ring, he was like, man, I can't pass up this payday, man.
man, when you can go keep buying them shit. Plexico Birds just sold his a couple weeks ago. You can just go buy you a ring off of eBay and you'll be straight, man. You got 160 million. Hey, go get that bag, man. Get paid. Get paid. Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
last,
once
last talk to me.
I was about to say, shit, 160, bro. It's hard to turn down. It's hard to say no to 160 million.
I'm telling you, bro. Anybody would have took that money. Last on the list, my dog Josh Sweat, defensive end from the Eagles last year. He signed a 4-year deal, $76 million with the Cardinals, and he showed out. When you show out in the biggest game, there is, you deserve to get paid. So it's good to see some of the D linemen from off the Eagles, that Eagle squad get paid. And that Eagle squad, and same Eagle squad it was last year. So it's gonna be good to see what they do next year with a whole different team. Um Man, that now next segment, man, I was gonna go into like most impactful moves, dog. I mean, out of all the moves, in free agent signings, that's what I talk about when I'm talking about moves, but all the free agent signings, what do you feel like there was a most impactful move for you, brothers, this offseason or just today? Because it's still free agency, but just today it's free agent signings.
Bro, I'm gonna say Devontae Adams to the Rams. And
Adams.
that's because, and this is how I see it, right? What Puka Nakua is emerging as a young go-to receiver, right? And then you have Cooper Cup, we all know who he is, and he on his way out, So they didn't already said that they gonna deal Cooper Cup. So this signing, bro, with Matthew Stafford and what type of quarterback he is, bro, he gonna make sure Devontae Adams get the football. The BS that he had going on in New York with the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, and you know how I feel about him already. So, but I feel like, to me, Matthew Stafford is is a he's still a gunslinger. And Devontae Adams is a hell of a route runner. He a damn good receiver. He's still in his prime. So him and Puka Nakua is gonna be a crazy tandem. And Puka Nakua is changing his number to I think they said that 12. So
Number 12. Yeah.
with Cooper Cup out the way on his way out and them getting Devontae Adams, bro, this is gonna be insane.
Yeah, nah, facts. I think that was a good sign, and especially being on the Rams. That's I'm still holding down for the Lions right now, but I'm still a Rams fan.
Shout out to the Ramley.
Um, yeah, shout out to the Ramley dog. But for me, I thought that was a good signing, man. I thought the Rams definitely, if they felt like they were going to move on from Cooper Cup, I think filling in those shoes with Devontae Adams is a good move. I'm with you on that move. I think for me, I think the team that made the most impactful moves for me personally, I think was the Texans. The Texans had two moves this free agency where the first move was trading for Christian Kirk early in the free agency, and then they just traded for CJ Gardner Johnson, the safety for the Eagles. So, impacting your offense and your defense in one free agency, I think that was very impactful because they don't need a lot. Let's be real. The Texans don't need like a ton of more guys to add to their team. They just need small little pieces here and there to fill in the voids where they feel like they struggle. And man, we look to see, the Texans at the top of that AFC is the Texans, the Chiefs, the Bills. They want to definitely be in those conversations. So I definitely think the Texans making those two moves this offseason was, very impactful.
And
A couple of other
I'm gonna
that
go.
I kind of want to talk about.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go a little bit further than that because I did a little homework on the Texans. So in case you haven't been living under a rock and you don't know what's going on, they restructured Aziz Al Shire. They restructured his contract. They freed up $6.5 million for him. Then they restructured Nico Collins' contract and freed up $9.8 million. So they're gonna have around 18 million. They got around $18 million in cap space, free cap. So they released Shaq Mason, who was a starting right guard. They traded Laramie Tunsil for a second and third of this year, and then a second and fourth in next year's draft. And they traded Kenyon Green, who was a guard who a lot of people had a problem with. They signed Christian Kirk. They get Christian Kirk. They get CJ Gardner Johnson, and they also signed Braxton Berrios, who was who was a kind of like a slot guy, a little speedy receiver. Uh, you know, I feel they're trying to fill those shoes that Tank Dell is gonna be missing. They're gonna be missing with Tank Dell being out. Stephon Diggs still a free agent that we don't know what's gonna happen with that. Um, so the Texans aren't sitting back and just saying, "Oh man, we got to deal with these injuries." Blah 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 blah. Nope.
Yeah.
They didn't got rid of 3 starting offensive linemen. So either they just signed another guy from oh gosh, I can't think of his name, it slipped my mind, but they did just sign another offensive lineman. But we know what the Texas draft is gonna be like. We finna go get some big boys, right? So either we gonna get some big boys in the draft, or we still gonna make some moves to get some veteran O linemen. But um, the Texans aren't sitting back, bro, because they know CJ Stroud is gonna have to get paid. So once again, they're going all out and free agency. Once again, let's try and make this thing happen. 1 or 2 more years, and let's try and at least make a deep run in the playoffs. To at least when we can get an AFC champ. I mean, let's say AFC. Yeah, they Texans an AFC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are an AFC. Yeah, to win the AFC championship, possibly make a Super Bowl run. Before we got to pay CJ Stroud because he gonna demand a lot of money, and and he deserves it.
Nah, facts. I mean, everybody has their window. Everybody has a short little window where you can get, all the talent that you feel like you need to get the job done. I mean, you can't keep a Super Bowl team together for 10 years. That's not gonna happen. So it's a 5-year, 4-year window. You kind of have to get everything in line for you to really make that push. And I know every GM knows that, so that's why the moves that they make, kind of make sense for, the right now. Like, let's win now. We don't got time to, wait and rebuild. It's time to win now.
And you
I
gonna have
think a couple other teams that oh, talk to me.
I was about to say, and you're gonna have other teams that's gonna try and come and pluck those players away from you. So as far like if we see it with San Francisco, they lost they didn't lost a boatload of players, right? To free agency. And Michael Parsons was happy about that. He kind of tweeted out about it. But that it's just the way shit goes when it's a business, right? So you can't keep everybody under the small little umbrella.
No, especially guys that have proved proved their worth in the NFL. And with a lot of 49ers guys, those are guys. Not all their guys were first, guys that they picked up. They were 4th round, 3rd round guys who, are in their 3rd year, 4th year where it's time for them to get paid and taking advantage of it, man. You're not gonna see too many guys, on a rookie deal, 4th round deal, who's gonna sit around and not take advantage of, 40, $50 million. So like I say, small window to get your team, and shoot for that Super Bowl run. I wanted to kind of highlight a couple of other moves and trades and things that have been going on. So the Jets signed Justin Fields to a 2-year, $40 million deal. What you think about that, bro? The Jets having Justin Fields. Do you think that's going to change their dynamic? Is that better than what they had? Talk to me.
Well, you lose Devontae Adams, but you still have Garrett Wilson. You still have a damn good defense. Um, I just feel like I'm happy for Justin Fields. He gets a restart, right? I don't know. I don't remember how good that offensive line is, but we've seen Justin Fields be good. Him being in Pittsburgh was kind of like a wash because it's like he really, I said by Russell Wilson, they gave me a few packages, but it wasn't really much. Now I get to go to New York. It's gonna be his team. So
Uh-huh.
I hope in New York he can have some decent years. They're not asking for no Super Bowl run, but let's compete,
Right.
right? Let's be competitive on the offensive side because that defense they got a damn good defense. So
Right.
I'm happy for him, man. I can't wait to see what he gonna do in New York. That's a tough market out there. Them fans,
It is.
they gonna they with you when you good. Hey, they with you when you
I
good.
think if any person is used to the the constructive criticism and the media criticizing. I think it's Justin Fields. That definitely leaving out of Chicago, going to Pittsburgh, sitting behind Russell, and now getting his opportunity. He's a guy. I know he just go, put his head down and work. At the end of the day, he just wants to win, and it's good to see him get his kind of like his restart. Another move, quarterback move that I thought was very impactful that might change the trajectory of a team. And I'm not saying it's Super Bowl bound, but I'm saying they're not gonna be at the bottom half of the league no more. And I think that's the Raiders, man. The Raiders trading for Geno Smith, I thought was a big boy move just on the organization saying like, taking a chance. We've seen because of Geno and his whole backup QB to starter and him not getting the respect that he deserves. And I love the Raiders for trading for Geno. Hopefully at some point in time we'll see him get the bag from the Raiders. Seeing quarterback of that caliber since he took over, the Seahawks have been one of the top teams in the NFC. Obviously they didn't go to the Super Bowl or anything like that. But, when you talk about one of the top teams in the NFC every year, since Russell's been, gone from Seattle, the Seahawks have been that. So seeing the Raiders chance on Geno, I'm definitely excited for him and the organization. Um,
I f- I'm happy for him
Aaron
as well,
Rodgers
bro.
and Pete Carroll linking up. That's dope.
Yeah. And with that, the Seahawks, they ended up going out and getting Sam Darnold, who signed a 3-year $100 million deal with Seattle. So, both of those guys are hopefully in good spots. They both can play out their contracts, have good
I'm gonna be
seasons for
honest
both of
with
the
you. I'm
teams.
gonna be honest with you. That Sam Darnold is a little bit more questionable than a Geno Smith, and the only reason why I say that is because I feel like Geno been more consistent than Sam Darnold. Obviously, Sam Darnold had a tremendous year last year, but he's always kind of like up and down.
But then think about this though, right? When he was in Carolina, right? His number one receiver was Adam Thielen.
Uh,
So when you look at that, they didn't have a good offensive line. They really didn't have no run game, and your number one receiver, as you can see, it's the same issue, bro. In Carolina, I don't know what they have going on. With Xavier Leggett's a damn good receiver, but that offensive line situation, bro, is horrendous. But uh, but then again, we see this all the time. Somebody has a good year, they play into a contract. So you can't take that away from Sam Darnold, regardless of what his past has been. We see it all the time. Somebody have a fucked up pass, they have a good year, and then the rest of their career takes off. Or we see people start off good and then they get paid and then they vanish into the wind, So I feel like they paid him off of what he did last year, not off of what he's done in the past.
right. Wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. I definitely, go keep my eye on see. They got to play my Rams 2 times a year, so we'll definitely keep an eye on them. I thought another move, and this is kind of like one of those moves that you don't really realize it's a really good move until you see it on the field. And I'm a little biased because I'm wearing Lions hat right now in my Lions gear, but DJ Reed, cornerback from the Jets, he was the second corner from on the Jets that you didn't really hear about is because I felt like he was always strapping the second best receiver. Uh, he was on the Jets last year for the last couple of years, holding it down on the other side of what's the other cornerback, the big Sauce. He was holding it down on the other side of Sauce, and I feel like he did a great job, bro. I watched him in person, and I was like, "Damn, bro, he is snapping, dog." Like, we really don't got nobody to throw to, bro, because he's snapping. Like, I think that was a good pickup for the Lions. You got to a guy who is very hungry. He's kind of got that attitude where it's like, he wants to show people why he's the best. He's a little undersized. He's strapped, he kind of he remind me of like man, like an undersized corner, that just like I don't want to say nobody crazy because people gonna be in the comments. Oh man, you compared him to Chad Bailey? Like, nah. What I'm saying is you got to understand.
People don't understand size wise.
Yes, yeah. Corner is totally different. What you about to say?
Yeah, nah. I was just saying. I don't know how tall he is, but I get what you're saying. What you mean by an undersized corner strapping up. But now think about this. Now you go from like strapping up that number two receiver to being the guy. You know, so it's a little bit different now.
The And they got a nice young secondary over there in the line, so I think he's gonna be added to it. I think he's gonna be, he gonna be good. But they don't got AG. They don't got AG as the defensive coordinator for the Lions. So you think about that, and it's like, hey, we really got to see what the Lions got going next year on defense. But with them signing that, I know that is there for the Lions, so I'm not worried about that at all. Another that I thought was a really big move was the Steelers trading for DJ Metcalf. What you think about that move, bro?
Hey, I don't know if Russell Wilson knows this or not, but him coming back to the huddle with both of them receivers in his ear about not getting the football, bro, he gonna have to. You know how they had the shit in the quarterback ear pad, ear holes, so you can't hear nothing.
Yeah.
He gonna have to make sure he got that on every game, bro. He gonna have to when they in the huddle yelling, "I'm Oakley." He gonna have to pretend like I'm trying to hear the play, y'all, because it's gonna get insane, bro. But then again, it's like I think George Pickens is coming up for a contract year, right, or something. He should be coming up towards the end of his career. So I mean, his contract. So what does that say about his future in Pittsburgh? Um, I don't know, bro. This you got two. You basically kind of got two of the same receivers now. You got two big body receivers who can go up and make you know crazy catches, but it's like they not neither one of them are one of those route receiver, those route runner guys who are gonna, separate from everybody. Yes, George Pickens does get open. I'm not saying that he can't separate. Yes, DK Metcalf does get open, but there are more of those high point catch guys versus let me run a route and get, you know what I'm saying, a route technician and get open for the quarterback, you know what I'm saying, all the time. So I don't know how it's gonna work, bro. It's cool to say, "Hey, I'm throwing the ball to DK Metcalf and George Pickens," but at the end of the day, it's only one football. You know what I'm saying? And George Pickens already wants the ball every play. So, and DK not one of those guys who go stay quiet about not getting the ball. You know what I'm saying? We just seen him kind of like, "Hey, bro," you know what I'm saying? Like, give me the football. So I don't know, bro. Hopefully, listen, because I met Russell Wilson. We met him at DeMar Hamlin at the DeMar Hamlin basketball game. I wanted to work out for Russell Wilson. I wanted to work out for him, but just
Yeah.
if I don't know, bro. I'm just stay quiet. I don't want to piss nobody off because I got homeboys that Steelers fans.
Uh, hey man, look, all you can say is, man, they got the right quarterback for the job. You got the most humblest quarterback that ain't gonna tell you nothing. He ain't gonna get mad. He ain't gonna get frustrated. He'll always be positive. So to have, all those, prima donna receivers yelling at you, you got the most humblest the quarterback. He gonna continue to do his thing, bro. Russell gonna continue to do what he like to do. If it's checking the ball down, it's gonna be checking the ball down. If it's throwing the moon ball over the top where, to either receiver, it's gonna be that. So they got the right quarterback for the job because you got a quarterback that's just gonna do his job and don't get that, So my next move for for the kind of like most impactful. I thought the Buccaneers re-signing Chris Godwin to a 3-year, $66 million deal. I thought that was a great move for him. Just holding down guys who've been holding it down for you. He's been very consistent. He hasn't been screaming for the ball, but he gets 1,400, 1,300 yards each and every year. He gets hurt last year towards the end of the year, and he still gets paid. So it shows me that they have loyalty to the players that have loyalty to them. So I was definitely excited to see Chris Godwin get paid by the Bucks after especially going down with the injury last year. And I don't know, man. Other than that, man, I don't really got nothing. You got any other moves? I know there's been a lot of moves.
Okay, so look, I'm gonna run down the list, right? I'll just run down a quick list, and then you kind of say something that stick out to you. Debo to Washington. Are you quick? You good on it?
I think he helps Washington. I think they'll find a place for Debo. Yeah, I think he
Okay.
impacts.
Drake Greenlaw to the Broncos.
I think he impacts their defense. They already got a good D line that had the most sacks last year. So to see, a linebacker go, that's gonna run some stuff now. Yeah. I think he impacts defense a lot. So I think that's an upgrade for the Broncos for sure.
Joey Bosa to Buffalo.
Joey Bosa, is a good deal because I mean they need edge rushers. They already re-signed their young goon number 50. I forgot his name. I really don't know how to pronounce it too well, but he's another defensive end. So to get them boys on the edge, the Bills are trying to get over that hump. They're trying to get over that hump of that they cheat
Somehow, some way.
do that. That's what they need to do.
DeAndre Hopkins to Baltimore.
He trying to get a ship. He trying to get a ship, man. He doing whatever he got to do to be on the team that's going to the Super Bowl. So, man, DeAndre Hopkins, man, I hope he go back with the Ravens this year and get him one.
Justin Reed to the Saints.
Justin Reed to the Saints. Justin Reed, come on. For me, the Saints, man, I'm just not a Saints guy, and this is no shot at the Jew. I'm just not, man. I might be a hater. The Saints fans go jump in the comments on it, but I never know with the Saints, bro. You never know what's going on with the Saints. They never look like they're building for anything. They just kind of like grabbing whoever they like out of free agency. You know what I mean? We don't know with the Saints, bro. We'll see. We'll see what to say. Just like the Saints fans, we gonna see.
All right, and then my last one is because we already talked about Devontae Adams to the Rams, we talked about DK to the Steelers. Travarius Ward to Indianapolis.
I mean, obviously, Travarius Ward going to Indy is a good thing for him. I mean, I remember last year him talking about to the media that he has some kind of like PTSD, even going back to Cali, just from some of the stuff that he's dealt with being in Cali. But I think that's a good move for him. I think the Midwest kind of media and things like that is going to be good, a nice slow down pace for him. But I would hate for him to be, for him to go to Indy and kind of his career is over with. You know what I mean? Because he's such a good player. So
Yeah.
hopefully he can go to Indy, ball out, and then maybe get on a team that's really going to the going to places. So yeah.
Okay, listen. This is off topic of the NFL, right? It's just something that happened out here
Okay.
in high school sports, right? So there was a track meet this past weekend, and there's this kid that I coached against. His name's Billy Mitchell, right?
Okay.
He just ran a 10-3 in a 100, right? He ran a 10-3.
Okay.
Then he backdoored and ran a 10-2 in a 100. And he lost the second race where he ran a 10-2.
What?
So the kid who beat him ran a 9.9.
Yo, I seen that. I was just gonna ask you, like, what about the kid that ran the 9.9? So, bruh, that's crazy. Is a 9.9 like crazy to see? I'm not really
Listen, let me tell you.
track, but
Okay, so let me put this in perspective. A 9.9 translated into a 40 time would be a 4.2 flat.
right there. So
He was scooting, bro. And then there was a kid who was like 6'5", 220. He posted on his Twitter account. He said, "Damn, bro, imagine running a 10-4 or 10-5 or whatever he did in his company 6th place."
where that little score right there probably done won people first place in some races, bruh. And I think he done came in 5th place, bruh. That's just crazy, yo.
So Usain's Bolt 100-meter record is a 9.5.
Ooh.
And this
Somebody
kid's
go,
running that. This kid, he in high school, Mike. He just ran a 9.9.
boy, I'm think you talking about college or something. This dude in high school.
So he in high school.
He realize.
Yeah, so look, so
How is it laser? Is it stopwatch? Like how many hours?
I don't know how they I don't know how track does the times.
Cause I'm like, man, that 9.9 crazy.
They use a laser.
If it's laser, that's crazy, yo. That's
And you know what's even crazier, bro? Is that so the one kid who ran the 10-3 and the 10-2, he got like 13 offers right after, literally right after that. He got 13 offers.
true.
And then the kid who ran a the kid who ran a 9.9, I'm gonna give you one guess of what high school he went to, Mike. Just one guess.
Uh, is it in Texas?
Yeah.
It's either the North Shore, Duncanville, or something like that.
He went to Duncanville. He goes to Duncanville.
I couldn't. I can't. Hey, in track, everything, bruh. Duncanville have all the athletes, bro. I'm really
They
starting
just made it to
work, like, is that a public school? Like,
yes, and they made it to state. They made it to state in basketball this year.
I just seen that. They won state in basketball this year.
So it's like you got a state championship football team, a state championship basketball team, and now you got a kid in track who just broke the high school world record.
They got them athletes at Duncanville. I don't know. To be honest with you, Duncanville has a tremendous sports and athletic a director or whatever. Because for these kids to be all going to the same school and showing up for the same school and got their grades intact and in order, they know what they're doing over there, bro. They got a good system to get athletes to the collegiate level. And shout out for Duncanville. Y'all keep it down for detail. You hear me?
Bro.
Yes, sir. You got anything else?
No, man. I just want to throw that in there at the end.
No, we good. We good, man. Hey, Brick Clothing got some surprise for you, man. We might have some heat for you, man. Y'all stay tuned for our next couple of posts and our drops, man. You'll see who's two really tapped in with us, man. And for those who've been rocking with the show from the beginning, man, y'all know the motto. Don't get ready. Hey, ready. Peace. Oh.